Hello, my name is Ebenezer Safwedu. I'm a business strategy consultant and a data specialist. I'm a lover of Jesus Christ. I love data science. I love to learn and teach. I love to impact lives wherever I go. I love transforming business, especially with the use of technology. Today, we'll be talking more about data analytics. I've done previous video on data science, telling you about what data science is. I've gone to talk about how to become a data scientist. I've done other videos on storytelling with data, but I'm going by the schedule. The data storytelling was because of a request from a friend, but now I'm going by the schedule. So I've talked about databases, which is data collection also, and there's data analysis and data modeling. Today, I'll focus on data analytics. So, what is data analytics? We'll go through what it is and what are the tools. But at the heart of everything that we do in terms of data analytics, we first talked about data collection. So, we collect the data. That is the data here. In data analytics, what we are trying to do is to glean insights for decision making. Every business, every individual wants to make a decision, and you want to be sure of the decision that you're making, whether it is right or wrong. And to make better decisions, we are trying to use data to make decisions. Ideally, we've always used data in a way to make decisions. Whether the data was right or wrong is the question here, or whether we have data readily available. So, for instance, if you want to go to a particular place, what you first ask is to get data of the particular place by asking somebody. So that is still data. It's just the procedure that you got it or you collected it was different. So the bottom line is that the way we actually carry about things is what is changing, but the principle still remains the same. Everybody wants to make the decision and wants to make the right decisions. And our decisions, therefore, changes the data again. So if I make a decision to go to a particular place, that would produce another data set or a new table or a new relationship because my movement now produce data. So the distance covered is the new data. So that is how data is generated. Once a decision is made, new data is generated. So the bottom line is the decision. Businesses want to make decisions so as they get the right output or they maximize profit. So whether business, whether you are an individual, you are trying to make a decision and you need data to make the decision. So businesses are using data on their customers, data on their sales, data on who visited them, data on request, data on people who are watching their website, all in making decisions. So the bottom line is decision making or judgment. So at the end of the day, as we collect data, the end result of our data is to make the right decision. So what does analysis come in here to do? So after collecting the data, we need to analyze the data to gain that information or knowledge to make that decision. So analysis is the point where, or the process where patterns are gotten out of the data or the techniques that we use to actually glean insights from the data to make information, to process the data. So that is what data analytics is all about in principle. So we are trying to analyze the data that we've gotten, and so as the end user would now make that judgment and new data will be collected and new analysis will be carried out. So this same process is done here by the user through data analysis. So this particular phase is all the analytics that we do. So I'll go deeper into data analytics. But before I do that, I mean, like I said, what has really changed is the data collection. So now to make data so readily available, data is everywhere. Hitherto, we used to do door to door to get data, or probably you would have to ask one colleague or the other. So businesses may have to travel to just get the data on their customers. And then there were paper surveys. We started filing. So our filing system took place. Telephones also came in to make data collection easier because you could now send the data over telephones. So that also changed the game in data collection. Then PCs also changed the game. Now we could collect data on desktops in digital form. And the internet has also made data readily available, that now we're able to get data real time, because you can host a database online and you're able to get data. And now satellites and drones, so now our mobile phones are collecting data and sending them real time. So you're able to actually analyze the number of steps you've taken, which hitherto could not have been the case. So mainly what is really changing is how data is collected. And now data is so readily available, and therefore it makes it easier for us to analyze data. Also, data analysis tools are also equipping data analytics, which we'll see later on. But mainly what is changing in the world has been the mode and how we collect data and how readily now data is available. And therefore, instead of just making a judgment call without any information, because it might take a longer time, 20, 30 years to get the data, but now you can easily get the data like as and when you want it. You want number of customers, all that you need is to click a button. All right, so that is something for the history. So data analytics, mainly we have descriptive, diagnostics, predictive, and prescriptive. So I'll go through each one of them and then you would understand what I'm talking about. So for descriptive analysis, it answers the question, what happened? So in descriptive analysis, we are trying to find out, okay, what happened in this company? How many customers do we have? It's always in the past. How many customers did we have? How many customers came to buy? What was our total sales? What was our average height? What is the gender? What is the median? What is the standard deviation? What's the skewness of our data, the distribution? Is it skewed to the left or to the right? Who is buying? Who is not buying? So what happened is your descriptive analysis. And normally what we do is to look at the sum, the mean, the average, the median, the standard deviation, skewness, and a z-score, which is normally used for the outliers analysis. So it's just describing your data and find out what happened. And then we move to diagnostic analysis. So after finding out what happened, which is the numbers, you want to find out why did it happen? So in answering why did it happen, that is when you'll be able to drill down into the data or into the descriptives and find out, okay, why did this happen? Therefore, we are looking at decomposition, value driver, whether we lost customers, that's churn, customer churn analysis, whether we lost probably staff, cohort, the people that came in January, how are they still doing business with us? They are all past analysis, ABC analysis, RFM. Mostly we are looking at correlation and causation, what caused what and what correlates to what. And that's what diagnostic analysis look at. Then prescriptive analysis. This answers the question of what is likely to happen. So in prescriptive, no, this is predictive. Sorry. That should be predictive. Right. Then this is what should we do? Thank you. Let me change this. Okay, so predictive analysis is trying to answer what is likely to happen. That's why we do forecasting, rolling averages to predict the future. And the last is prescriptive, which is where most companies today want to get to, is the ultimate, you are combining all the various analysis to actually prescribe what is the best way. So it's answering what should we do if it happens. So you look at what if scenarios, A/B testing, decision trees. In prescriptive, you use a lot of AI and machine learning algorithms to actually prescribe the optimum things to do. So that's quite high level. We might go through all these in practical examples in the future. So that is about the types of analysis. So now after all this, the question is, how do we go about it? And that's where the tools comes in. So the tools like Power BI, R, Stata, whatever tool that you know, they are just helping us do these kind of analysis. So you need to understand analysis first before you use the tools. And that's where sometimes people get it wrong, that they think that data science is all about just using the tools. You need to understand the principles and know which kind of analysis you need to do. So now these are some of the tools: SAP, SAP HANA, Tableau, R, and Power BI. And my preference is with Power BI. My next video would actually tell why I think Power BI is the best. And not only myself, but this is one of the surveys done by the world leading surveys for data analysis, which is done by Gartner. And they rate Microsoft BI as one of the best for the past 3 years. So, I mean, not only is it my preference, but it's rated around the world the best currently. And one of the main reasons is because about 95% of the Fortune 500 companies use it. So that is what I have for you today. My next video and tutorial would be on why Power BI and what it does for you. All right. So thank you very much for staying with me. Subscribe to my channel, Ebenezer Safwedu, on YouTube.